Welcome to the Success Theory Talk Show. I'm your host, Dorothy Kamarunga. Today on the show, we're delighted to host the Executive Secretary of an organization that is a catalyst in the development and the growth of entrepreneurs, SMEs in the country, Uganda. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us more about yourself, your name, the organization, what you do here, how the organization was started, and the vision behind the organization.
Thank you. My name is Veronica Namwanje, and I work here as Executive Secretary at Uganda Small Scale Industries Association, that is usually known as Yuzia. It was founded way back in 1979, and we're actually now celebrating 46 years of existence. And our association has actually come into existence to bridge the gap between those who really wanted to strengthen their enterprises, industries, and to ensure that they have manufacturing products that are within locally produced in Uganda here. As an association, we have kind of expanded. We have 20 offices across the country. We made sure that we have a footprint in every region, and we are located in Arua, we are there, we're in Masindi, Hoima, up to Kasese, Poto. We continue to Mara, we have come to Kampala, we are in Masaka, we are in Sironko, Mbale, we are also in Kumi, and up to Karamoja. We have a board that is of members. All we present around 21 sectors. Our 21 sectors, we have food and beverages, and we have people into carpentry, metal fabrication. We have people who are into art crafts. We have people who are into ice cream, cheese, and butter. We have people who are into even the services. We have also joined. Anybody who does value addition is a member of Uganda Small Scale Industries Association. We kind of have a membership of 12,650 members across the country. So what do we do with them? We come, we try to see how do they join the organization. First of all, we insist that we lobby and advocate on their behalf as SMEs in terms of whatever regulations that is there within the government. That means that we work with the government agencies to decentralize services to our members. How do you register in terms of formalization? How do you get your certification with the UNBS? How do you do with the URA tax issues? That way, we are making sure that every enterprise that is in existence has the documentation to do and the legal work to carry out activities that they're working in. So that is how we kind of bring out what issues are affecting them. If it is too much taxes, how do we reduce it? How do we talk to the government that this particular tax is going to reduce on production of our member products? And then we continue forward, we do a lot of trainings with them. Our trainings is that as an association, we have tried to see what gaps are there. It doesn't mean that when you finish university that you actually have the ability to carry out an industry. So when you start a business, there are those who what we would call startups who would come in and would like to learn a new trade. We use our members to train our other people to do facts. For instance, if you want to do a leather factory, how do I start with craft shoes? How do I go back to school shoes? So we use our members who are already into the sector to train the startups. And that way we are trying to enlarge the business. But in that way, we're also creating innovation. So when they are taught basically what they should be doing. But then people have ideas on how to expand, either the designs and how to expand, how do I do the marketing. Then we also have people who are in skills upgrading, those who are already into the business, but would want to start to improve with the new technology that is coming in. There's so many creativity that has gone in place. So they have to keep up. And in that way, say for instance, if you're baking small queen cakes, how do I get to know how to bake a wedding cake? Or if I'm a tailor, how do I know that I'm from school uniform, but I'd like to learn how to do a wedding dress, for example. And these are the things that we do train our members to participate, and then they kind of carry out new innovations and new things that are trending. As you can, as you know, we learn new ways of doing things. Then the other training is what we've been working with assessment bodies, and now we're working with Uganda Vocational Training Technical Assessment Board to kind of, most of the people who didn't get any qualification, how do you try to get into the idea of getting an assessment, a certificate to show the capability and competence of what you're able to do. So there we work with members down to the grassroots, and those who didn't, and then you know these things of the hands, you either know or you don't know. But the assessment body gives a certification that kind of assures the next employer that this person is able to work on their own or not. As we go forward, then we also have what we call the entrepreneurship training, and that was basically to find out how do you do your book work, where is your business plan, how do I go about it, and it has been expanding in a way of saying that it is the heart of the whole enterprise in terms of finances. Where do I put my money? How does it help me to profit it and bring it to another level? Then we continue to do with networking. We have a lot of exhibitions to kind of showcase what member products are being produced. We've heard about Bubu policy.
Yeah, buy Uganda, build Uganda. Yes.
Yeah, so we kind of break it down to the districts. We have street markets that take place, and then members are to show what kind of products are being produced. For instance, I can say like water. Water, we normally know around 7 companies that are producing these particular products, like more either Renzori, Wavamono. But then as you go across now, we can easily see that in Arua we have Mandela Water, we have Aquanel in Gulu, we go down to Hoima. All these come out in the different street markets to showcase within the region what is being produced. And apparently, August, we have a street market in Arua where we're calling everybody who wants to go and know. But it has also helped members to distribute their products across the country, to know that these are kind of, to become a house name before you really, come out loudly. It has helped to expand member products. As we go forward, we also have a kind of workshops with the different agencies who come and train our members in different ways. How do they expose things? So in a nutshell, Yuzia is there to kind of strengthen SMEs, and then they become small industries that grow into medium, and they grow large, and they can be graduated to Uganda Manufacturers Association.
So which member, who is qualified to be a member at Yuzia?
A member that is qualified is one that does value addition.
They should have started already. They cannot come when they just have, let's say, a raw material and they want to learn maybe if I'm producing bananas, how do I add value to bananas? Or they should have started something in the process already.
There are those who would want to start something. We have a startup program for those who would want to learn a particular skill. And a member is anybody who wants to do value addition is a member of Uganda Sports Industries. For instance, if you're talking about bananas, we have people who are into banana production. We start from where the agriculture stopped because it becomes a raw material. Anybody who is in secondary now saying that now we want to do value addition or raw material becomes a Uganda small scale member. So we are able to do a lot in terms of expanding that particular raw material. One, they train them to do now that we know the banana plant has many products that come out of it due to the research that is done in the university. So we work also with the universities, and then the academia brings it down and brings it to kind of mix with the industrialists who want to start something. And we have realized that in terms of banana plant alone, it can be a whole stem as you see it. Once they have removed the bananas and they're put aside, there's a lot. There's in terms of making paper, they can use the fiber to make paper. It is also made into AI extensions now. Now, anybody who wants to go into that business comes here and says, how can I be trained to use the fiber into paper? To indicate where the machinery can be bought, how it can be trained. We work with Uganda Industrial Research Institute, and that member is trained in that. So they go and they make their own industry outside. But then there are also other people who can also use the raw material after that, because the paper that is made can be made into paper bags that are supplied, boxes for cakes. There's so much that can be done in paper that after it has been produced.
Yeah.
Now all those become members of, as long as you're manufacturing, you're doing a product and you're putting value, then you're a member of Uganda Sports Industries.
And what are the steps, like, let's say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm doing value addition, perhaps in banana or any other kind of raw material. What are the requirements to join Yuzia?
Okay. In the instance, like I said, there are those who want to start. Those who want to start pass through the various industries that we have. And then you say, I want specifically this one. Maybe I want to make wine, or I want to make vinegar. All those are products of the banana plant. I want to make paper. Then when you come here, you kind of say, okay, this is the one that you're interested in. We help you to start your own business. What are the steps that you're going to follow? One, do you have a name? We will help you to register with URSP. And then we talk about you have to give us at least 3 names in priority of what your enterprise will be called, of which are the requirements of your SP. We have now even kind of simplified the fact that we have what we call the e-status platform, those who want to use digitalization to help them produce what they want. Now, we work with URSP, they help out with the formalization, we help to do the business part of it. Where is your enterprise going to be? Which form are you going to sign? Are you working as a limited company? Is it a single solo organization? And then from there, we're able to register you as a member. Now, we have categories that may we could be able to talk about. But we can say we have ordinary, we have the gold, and then we also have those that are in the middle that do the whole thing. So the first person, if you just want information from Yuzia, you pay some fee of 120,000 a year, and then you're always informed of what is trending within the industry.
Oh, so 120,000 is like membership fee.
Yes.
Does that now include all the other services, or
Those are the categories that come in.
Okay.
Goals, 220.
So depending on what you need,
Yes.
you pick a package.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted you to take us back in 1979 when the organization was started.
Okay.
What was the vision of the vision? Like what inspired the vision bearer to start this organization?
Okay, 1979, the vision was actually started with a group of members led by Mr. Kanakulia Bang, the late Mr. Kanakulia Bang. He brought out the whole thing whereby there was a gap between when the Asians were sent away and how they were going to be able to carry out businesses within the country. And most of the things that were being bought were from Kenya. So they were trying to see how do the Ugandan producers be brought out, strengthened to be able to match the goods that we were getting from the Kenyan counterparts. And then they started with 12 industry sectors. These were the food processing, carpentry, metro fabrication. There were also things like crafts, people who were doing mats and everything. And then how do they bring it to the standard and qualifications whereby we can export? So with that gap, members were brought out in the different sectors. It became what we call today a member-based organization. And this member-based organization has a board that sits, and then every quarter we try to see which activities we're going to do. But now as we're growing, it was expanded in sectors, and that is where we have a 21 that we are presenting today.
That's really pretty amazing. So 45 years, you're making 46 this year, right?
Yes.
And have you seen growth, and have you seen like the organization is making a huge contribution compared to the initial sentiments of them starting it?
Yes, we have seen. Actually, when you talk about SMEs, these are the biggest employers of this country to date. Because now we don't talk about, we are divided into, we have what we call enterprise people who are into traders, and we also have manufacturers. Now the traders are more of Kasita, but now the manufacturers are for Yuzia, Uganda small scale industries. That is where the difference is. Because now for the traders, you can go to China, come out, bring out a franchise, and then you start selling. But this production, we're talking about how you get into the factors production. Where is your land? Where is your energy? Where do you get your money capital, your labor? And then before you're producing, you're talking about 3 to 6 months to bring out a product on the table. Say like wine, and 3 months we're talking about maybe soap and things like that. They started in small. But we have names that have actually what we call household names in different ways, in different sectors. Say for instance, you have people who even runners also started around from the small scale industries.
Oh, they started here?
They started here.
Really?
They grew
Wow.
up, say, having these bigger industries.
That's
We have
amazing.
Sisako guys, we have people into those who do
Oh,
soya.
Sisako.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
I know Sisako.
But we have seen people progress now and then. They're trying to do issues in terms of how do we experience to go to the bigger players.
So you've made a huge contribution in terms of the SMEs and entrepreneurs at large. And I know, 45 years ago, now you're making 46 years. I'm sure you've had, as much as you've had a lot of success, you've had challenges. What are some of the challenges that UCIA has encountered along the way? And how have you been able to find solutions to those challenges.
You've heard about how Uganda is the best entrepreneurial country.
Yes,
And then we
for
actually
sure.
do fail after we don't reach our first birthday.
Yeah.
We're trying to change the narrative, see how do we strengthen these particular SMEs to grow into bigger things. Challenges coming in different ways. One, it starts that some of them just take it as a hobby. That is the first thing. Because normally it's just out of frustration that sometimes people come in and say, I have not got a job. Can I do something here? Then when they get the job, they leave it there. That is number one. But now we're trying to say, how do we build structures to say this is something that is real, that can actually create employment, not just for yourself, but for others as well. So the managerial issues now, people are coming in and they're building structures, and every day we see an improvement. That is why our industry is dynamic. It keeps on improving whatever products they are making. It is one of the instances whereby challenges either there are higher tariffs in terms of energy when they're producing, especially the millers have that, and then you see when some of them cannot be able to pay their energy bills. But because they have not been trained when they are supposed to be producing, this is where the trainings are coming in to do that.
And now we're joined by the head of membership and programs at Yuzia, who will explain to us the details of becoming a member at this great organization. So for every entrepreneur or SME out there, pay attention. Remember, Mukwano, Sisako, they all once were here before. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. My name is Andrew Walusimbi, and I head the Membership and Programs Department at Uganda Small Scale Industries Association. Yes.
What does it take to be a member at this organization?
As an association, we have 16 regional offices, 16 to 20 regional offices across the country, well staffed and well equipped, and this is where it all starts from. One, you need to have a business and should be in value addition. You should be adding value to a product, so that makes you qualify one to be part of an association like Yuzia. Having gotten that idea and the product, then you need actually to have our staff visit you. The reason why we do the visits is to really understand our members better, to be able to have the challenges they are facing and be able to serve them better. And the last one is for you to be a fully subscribed member. And what do I mean by subscription and membership payment? We belong to an association because we subscribe to it. So Yuzia has 3 different categories of membership subscription and membership. One is for the bronze. Those are micro businesses. I'm working from home. I'm starting a small business. You're able to pay 120,000 for a year. That is a full year. Then we have the silver category. The silver category goes for 220,000, and those are the small industries. I'm trying to scale up 5 to 10 employees. I'm really trying to see that I formalize my business. That is where that category falls. And then we have the gold membership. The gold membership is for those medium enterprises that have really gotten into the processes. They are able to get standardization from UNBS. They want to export. And all these categories come with different services we offer. They come with different benefits. And this is the encouragement that we give to all the people that really want to start up businesses. Because if you belong, you have a backbone of where you can rely on when business is challenging, and also be able to get fruits out of the benefits of an association like Yuzia.
Can you break down, more of what these packages entail? Like, if I pay for a bronze or any other package, what should I expect as an entrepreneur or as a SME?
When you do the bronze category, that is for the 120,000 a year, you can be able to get information about how businesses run. You can be able to get in touch with mentors, free mentors, and guidance on how business is being done. You can be able to get skills upgrading from the association or fellow members on how you can be able to improve on your product. When you get in the category of the silver category, now we are looking at how do we support this business now to get into real formalization. How do we register business? Yuzia can be able to support you if you're part of that. How do I get really good markets? Because market is not all about the product, it's all about also the processes that you're using. Are you certified? Are you tax compliant as a business? Can you be able to look out for funding into your business? That is now the silver category. And when we get into the gold category, this is where now businesses are looking out in how do they look for franchises, how do they look out for exports, how do they look out for people to inject money, equity into the business? How do they pitch and look at business to business models? So that is, how do I look at branching, having branches in different parts of the country, even abroad, and also investment into the business. So at that level, we're looking at how does a business scale out to be sustainable, having put the systems, supported it to put systems in place.
Do you have some examples of some businesses that have gone through Yuzia and perhaps you have helped them get to an international market or international level?
Yes.
Like?
We have lots of them, and right from the people that really started this organization, we've seen them grow. We've seen them transition. When you look at Mulwana was part of Yuzia and grew and transitioned into a bigger business.
Wow.
When you look at ESG, he's one of the biggest manufacturers of transformers in Uganda. He transitioned from here. He was a chairperson of Yuzia. When you look at Musa Bode, yes, he transitioned from Yuzia. So we take baby steps, and we have all this across the country. These are success stories that show a pathway to industrialization in this country.
What challenges have you faced as an organization?
Of course, there are very many for the organization. And these challenges not only affect the organization, but because we're a membership organization, the challenges affect our members, which also in turn affect us. But one of the challenges, one, is the voluntary membership that we have.
Yeah.
In this country, except for European countries, before somebody starts up a business out of Uganda, you're supposed maybe to belong to an association. In Uganda, it's different. You choose as an entrepreneur to belong, depending on what you want to get from that. So we need to make a lot of awareness about the association, the benefits, create the need for them to belong. It's one. And it also accumulates in when somebody needs a service, that's when they want to pay membership. But however, it is important as a business person to belong to an association. It creates the bond when you really need the association. You don't need to wait when URA or UNBS is closing your business. You have a backbone. You have a friend that can be able to really guide you into business.
Yeah.
Secondly, we have an environment in Uganda that really needs to be changed by government. As much as an organization, we are doing advocacy. We're talking about how business is supposed to be run, how government can be able to come in to support these small businesses. Of course, there are very good laws. When it comes to harmonization and implementation becomes a challenge. I just want to give you an example where we saw the ban that has been put on most of our products, for example, milk in going to Kenya. Then, of course, there are issues. However, we have the East African community that brings together all of this. So this affects our persons that are doing business here, but also it affects the grassroots persons, the agricultural value chains. All value chain becomes affected. So the policy is still a challenge. The implementation needs to be really strengthened to see that small businesses can do some of this work. The third one is the mindset of our people. In Uganda, people just start business without really having a background, having the real sense of really starting a business is I want to compete, I want money, but a business is a baby. You need to really nurture it, you need to feed it, it needs to really grow. And this is where we've come in as an association to really give the basic entrepreneurship, the real skills upgrading, the real certification for skills. And we've seen them transition. This is where now you see there is competitiveness, people are innovative, people are able to build their skills, they're able to pitch, they're able to look out for opportunities because now they know this is not all about I starting what Dorothy started or Andrew started, but we're looking at how sustainable these businesses can be in the long run. Of course, the other challenges are being compliant. When you look at formalization in Uganda and you look at how it's being taken, organizations like Uganda National Bureau of Standards for Standards doing a good job. Uganda Revenue Authority is doing a good job. But the question is, how do businesses apprehend and understand the real issues about formalization? It's not about, let me register a business. It's about how do I transition my business to be more sustainable? Because when you register, you have standards, you are able to get export. However, we also have issues to do with the enforcement on the other side. The time lag that is taken within the certification process becomes longer. From UNBS, it becomes an issue now to the association because our members go through us to do the certification, to support them to do the certification. So that is a challenge. When you look at URA, yes, we need the taxes. How do we do tax education? How do we get closer through the association? And we've been working closely with URA for our members first to understand, why do I need to pay tax? Why do I need to be compliant? But then the mindset as it changes, then also government and URA also needs to do some of the friendly approaches to get out this tax from them. And of course, when you look at our infrastructure, because our value chains are different. For example, I just want to give you a value chain of the beef and hides. How do we transport this into the abattoirs? How is the meat being prepared to the final consumer? So the value chains need to be worked on for really Ugandans to understand that their products are worth taking. That's why you'll find a lot of products on the shelves from South Africa, from Europe, because we've not really taken time to appreciate our own products. And here, Uganda Small Scale Industry Association has come out strongly to implement, support the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda strategy. And here, one, we have our own street markets that we do across the districts. And in August, we are in Arua. We worked with the Ministry of Trade and Finance, and they gave us permission to allocate streets within districts, to put out what do different regions have within the country. It's one of them. We are also being part of the exhibitions that are being organized, either by government or by international partners, for us to really be able to appreciate. But we also say, as much as we would want to appreciate this, our businesses have a part to play in this. They have to control their quality. They have to believe Ugandans are now aware. We have the ICT in place. People can go online. They can order from wherever. So we're saying, can they be able to have quality products? Can they be able to deliver in time? Can they be able to innovate better and new products? And this is where the association comes in to really bring out the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda approach that really as a country we need to take up to see that our products can be out there.
So according to your experience or the members' experience, how are these street markets really setting them apart? Like, what has been the impact of the street markets? Because it sounds like a very good idea, but what is the impact of the street markets for your members?
Before, we used to have a mentality from members that whenever I go to a street market, whenever I go to an exhibition, one of the things that we were expecting is I need to sell.
Yeah.
And the narrative really changed. One, we've really tried to tell and train our members before they go for some of these exhibitions, be it national or international. One, how does your brand look like? When I talk about a brand, it's just not a product. You, the person who is selling off this product, how do I communicate? We train them in how do they communicate about the products. Can I be able to pitch my company in five minutes or so? We do those pitch decks. We are also able to look out, does your product have a standard? Do I have business cards? Am I prepared for this exhibition? So after that, then we are able now to take them for these opportunities. And through these street markets, one, we've seen that government has been appreciative. They have really tried to appreciate the value chains within their regions. Because if we do a regional street market, we are able to bring out all the players in one street just to look at what that that means. And government has been now intentional enough to, one, be able to put out good policies within the local governments, but secondly, to be able to allocate budget that can support these small industries. Secondly, we've seen our members get contracts. They've been able to now start supplying. They have been able now to start looking at how they can also backward and forward linkages. I can be able to get something from this company, but I can also be able to give it this. How do I interlink into that? We've also been able to see that they're being able to learn from each other. How does the other do it? Because it's a networking event. And also lastly, how do they really have to negotiate? Because the negotiation skills are very key as we do business. Yeah. So we've been able to put all these people at a round table together. They're able to interact on what else can they be able to do if there are new innovations, if there are new technologies, but also through the exhibitions. For example, in Arua, we were able to talk to the Minister Anite, and they were able to get through Uganda Investment Authority. They got land and industrial park based on that, not only for our members, but for all the SMEs that would want to play in the game of production. So in Nebi, they got for them a land where they will develop, and we believe with this the members can be able to get advantage of the production processes in that region.
Okay, so that means in Nebi, each member or the members that wish to participate can have, they'll create something like UMA, like they can have an office and, like a manufacturing.
They'll create actually something like Namave.
Oh, yeah. An industrial park.
Industrial park. And in this policy, 20% of the infrastructure in industrial park created by government should be utilized by SMEs. Oh. Yeah. So we push for that and we see and prepare them. Because there is one getting an industrial park in place, but also being able to utilize to capacity is also another issue. So we're trying also to bring, by the time it's built, we have some members that can be able to utilize the opportunities in there.
So 46 years, you're making 46 years this year, 2025. Yeah. What do you feel like has been the catalyst or the ingredient in keeping you consistent as an organization?
One, as an organization, for the last 2 years, we've been marked and celebrated as the best membership organization in Uganda. Mm. We were given this praise through Private Sector Foundation Uganda, where we belong as well. And one of the areas of concern that really brought us to this is our structures. We are strongly rooted at the grassroots, at the zonal levels. Like when you go to Arua, you'll find us there. Go to Mbale, you'll get us there. Go to Moroto, you'll get us there. Go to Kasese, you'll get us there. We have a zone executive committee. Those are only members, voluntary. They are put together, they are able to discuss. And also, we have a national executive committee, which is elected every 5 years and gives guidance to the Secretariat to be able to perform its duties. So that is how strong we are. We are down there and we can be able to advocate even at the zonal levels, at district levels. Secondly, it is, of course, the members that we hold. It is through these members that we are able to get the sectors. And through the sectors, we are able to get issues that affect each sector. I just want to give you an example. In the last 5 years, we won a grant that trained over 250 meat processors in Uganda. And through this, we were able to get also a fully fledged plant, 2 fully fledged plants for meat processors. In Mbarara, we have one, and in Bulova, we have one. Why? Oh, wow. Because we used the expertise of our members to be able to really put out a writing to EU and tell them, look here, we have all these women, we have all these youth we can be able to train. And believe me, it's doing wonders here. Women are being trained. Meat is coming out of the meat processing plant. They are getting employment. It's changing lives. So the structures of sectors have also really put us up high there. The third thing is the services we give. Our services are quite I don't want to say unique, they have been done somewhere else as well, but we give them a personal touch. Just want to give you an example. We're one of the biggest organizations that does skills upgrading. You're out there, you're an entrepreneur, you want to do stainless steel welding, if you are into the metal sector, you want to learn different skills, you come here. We have the mentors in place because we have the members. Like I said, we can be able to really work with those big members to be able to nurture these young people into how entrepreneurship is being done. So with that, we are able now to see how do we transition our small-scale industries into bigger industries and more sustainable businesses. The last one is our staff.
Okay.
Yeah. Without that, of course, we cannot be able to run most of these activities that are being planned every year. As we plan, we try to build our capacity as staff, as an organization, to see that we are able to deliver on the need of the members. So we are there as staff, one, to listen to what the members want, to be able to dialogue with government for what the members want, to be able to set out activities that can promote inclusion, but also benefit for the growth of the member industries. That's keeping us afloat and relevant to our members.
And what is your why as an organization?
Sorry?
What is your why? Like, why do you feel like Yuzia does what it's doing for entrepreneurs and SMEs?
One, like you've seen, the background to how we are formed. We were formed by people, all the founders were typically in business. And at that point, we used to do a lot of importation because the Indians were already out of Uganda, and we really did a lot of importation from Kenya, from wherever it were coming from. And these entrepreneurs sat down and said, no, we need to change the narrative. And this is where they started bringing together people who are really doing something out there and be able to transition them. So that is one of the why. The formation is clear to support businesses. That is one. Secondly, we've seen the narrative of government also. His Excellency, the President of Uganda, is talking about industrialization. You cannot talk about industrialization without micro, small, and medium enterprises. And this is our niche. And that's the why we really take good, keen care about how do we realize that in the next maybe 10, 20 years. We also have a strategic plan that we follow as an organization. It really supports us on how we can be able to run, to realize the mission, the vision of the organization. But lastly, what puts us here are the members. We are membership driven. If it's advocacy, if we want to talk about issues with government, if we want to develop plans on how to support them, we have satisfaction surveys with them, we have consultations with them, and we are able to develop services, one that can be able to satisfy their industries, but also being relevant to what government is talking about. As, for example, as we talk about National Development Plan 4, Uganda Small Scale Industries Association is well mentioned in there because they know we have the platform that can be able to transition and realize some of these achievements that they would want to get in the NDP4. So, yes.
Let's talk about legacy. As an organization, Yuzia, what do you want to be remembered for? Or maybe let's give an example of Mr. Kanakulia, one of the founding members. Can you take us through his mind or his vision, or maybe along the years, what you as an organization, as members of the organization, or maybe as staff, what do you stand for? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be remembered for?
One is our vision is clear. We really wish and want and act to be the best membership organization that supports micro, small, and medium enterprises in Uganda, and typically in value addition. So that is what we long out for. But we also have values as an organization that we believe in. One is transparency. We would want to see that we are as transparent as possible as an organization. Accountability is second, and of course, this now brings us back to our members, the relationship we have with our members. They give us their money as membership and subscription. We account. And every year we hold AGMs to make sure that we are able to tell them how the money is being used.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
of course, as an organization, we do a lot of audits to see that we are accountable. We want to be very efficient. And of course, this is how we utilize our money, but also bring out the best with this little that we have as an organization. So we want to be remembered for being the best organization, which we are right now as being recognized by PSFU. Also, secondly, when you look at how we've transitioned businesses, I just want to give you an example of Sesako. Sesako started with us.
Yeah, like I'm really impressed.
Yeah, as a small industry. We were able to nurture Sesako in very many ways with the different trainings and then also the linkages to the different partners. He was able to really realize big partners from the USA, and that is why you see he has really grown to that level of doing the soya milk, the sausages and everything.
So you guys were also, okay, Yuzia as an organization was also in those conversations of getting him partnerships to scale his business.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is how it comes out. You are able to send such a member into different workshops where there are different partners. Then you are able now to really look into the benefits of these partnerships to the member. You are able now to link, because they normally partners normally come and say, we would want to partner with somebody in this category, with these values, with this vision. And we are able to say, yeah, we have such and such a person. They are able to meet. They are able to start such partnerships. So I just want to say, at the end of the day, as you see here, with the number of businesses we've been able to transition, we believe we are still nurturing more businesses. We are still picking successes. We've seen members that have been trained by us, and they are now able to work for bigger companies in the US as tailors. So we don't want our Ugandans to keep going out there and all they're known for is being housemaids and everything. We want them to have a skill. And with the partnerships we've had also with the different chambers, we've been able to train as many TOTs as possible. We've been able to create mentors. So, for example, with the Chamber of Skills Crafts of Koblenz, we've been able to have a partnership with the German industries that have come in to partner. For example, with Mayondo, who is a carpentry big workshop, and he has been able to get this. He can be able to travel to Germany. He can be able to get new technology back down here. The German partner can be able to come in here to support into the systems in the industry. We are able to realize exports, and these friendships have created what Yuzia is right today.
You talked about transparency being one of what you want to be known for, legacy and all that. Tell us, you talked about how you actually have, like every financial year, you have meetings with your members and show them how you're spending their money. Is there anything in particular you'd like to share with us of how you've actually improved your members' lives, or maybe their businesses in terms of investing the money that they're actually paying for membership?
One, I just want also to note that we developed what they call a regional concept. And on our National Executive Committee, which is the board, we have a representation from every region. Okay? So first, it is from the zone, the members. Then they get into the sectors. Then the regional representative at the National Executive Committee is able to meet each of the districts. And as they come for a quarterly meeting at the national executive level, they are able to articulate some of these issues. We are able to say this industry is in need of ABCD or a machine. We've been able to equip these regions with some of machines that are being needed per different sectors. For example, the tailors, been able to purchase a embroidery machines, bigger machines that can be commonly used by the members. For example, if it's a generator, a welding generator, we have some in the Albertine region because there are very many welders. They're able to pick out this sustainably to be able to utilize the generators to get money into their businesses. But secondly, we've also been able to train these people. For example, financial literacy is key. Our members make a lot of money, but he's speaking from his pocket, doesn't know if I'm really making profit, if I'm really, I'm at a loss. So we are able to take them now through, how do I plan for my finances? Where do I get the finances? How do I plan for my finances? And making them investment ready at the end of the day, because that is where we would want them to be. Not only to expect the association to give them, but making them ready to get invested into, or even them investing in stock out there. So we are able now to make them also accountable for their own industries. And being accountable doesn't mean that Yuzia has to be only accountable for the members. The members also have to account. For example, we say, we would want a member to come and say, honestly, I'm doing bad with my HR system. A demand-driven approach is what we would want to create from the members. This is what we are doing with the regional concept. We have a regional officer there. He's able to reach out. He's being supported by the zone executive committee, by the regional representative, and we are seeing the need in the different regions, dependent on the different value chains, and we are able now to really show them. We also have what they call zone executive committee meetings. The zones sit, and these are the zones. We don't call them districts, it's not political, so we call them zones. And for you to make a zone in a district, you need to have at least 20 paid-up Yuzia members. And then we form a zone which is self-managed, self-structured. They are able to write for their own funding, and then the funding goes and it's managed. They are able to look at the issues that are affecting the SMEs. We train them in advocacy. So Yuzia does not go to the district to talk. Andrew doesn't. But a member goes and really articulate issues in their own. That you see, when we talk about the foods and beverages sector, this is what we're talking about, because they're more practical. So we've trained them in how they can be able to advocate. We have the different government officials of steel that we work with, and we are able to give them this data. So accountability is on both ways, like I said. They're able to account to the district, they're able to account to us, we are able to account to them. From the zone executive committee meetings, then we come to the national level, where the regional representatives sit. They are able to articulate issues. We staff are able to present the opportunities that are into the business environment to them. They are able to meet ministers because they're at that level of dialogue, they're at that level of articulation of issues. And we are able to see how best government can support Yuzia and its members, and how Yuzia can contribute directly also to the development of this country through government.
So Yuzia has had a lot of, 46 years in 2025. You've had a lot of success in terms of the examples that you have mentioned, Sisako, Mukwano, Murana, and many others. It's actually impressive, really, really come to think of it. Many entrepreneurs and SMEs should actually be a part of this organization. So what I would want to know is, what is your success formula?
One of our success formula is our regional concept. I believe if you went to every region, you would say, I want to meet a staff from Yuzia, or go to the office of Yuzia, and you will get to us. That is one of some things that we developed over a period of time, and we've realized a personal touch down to the grassroots. That is one. We also have really a good working relationship with government. We're not funded by government, but we're very supportive, because we cannot really be able to talk about development in this country and you don't talk about SMEs. So we've been able to support government. Government has been able to dialogue with us. And we believe with this, we can be able to create a better working environment for the Ugandans. So it is also a formula for us to be able to really articulate and talk about some of these issues. in this country.
What is your last message to entrepreneurs out there, or even SMEs, people that are your target, members, or even more? Like maybe someone is out there, they've not started a business before, but they would love to be encouraged by you, knowing that this is an organization that is going to take you to the next level. What is your last message to them?
Yeah, as we started, I said, really, it is hard in Uganda to start business. And you don't have where to hang yourself, where to lean when you have a challenge. Business associations across the world have proven to be quite strong. When you go to Europe, they are called chambers. And these chambers have been able to nurture. And that is where you see there has been a lot of growth. And in Uganda, we have really been at the forefront of really articulating and advocating and creating all the means to have our SMEs grow. So out there, you have an idea, you have a small business, you need to belong to an association. Yuzia is very open. Even before you pay off for membership, we are able to advise you. We are able to say, you doing food. We have a standards facilitator that can be able to come and support with the business processes. We are able to say, we can give you this information for a free seminar. We are able to say, you can meet one of our mentors, even before you pay. We are saying, please come in, join the association. Don't let businesses die in 2 or 5 years. We are here, we've had the experience, we've tested the waters of supporting small businesses.
Where can people find you?
Our main office is found in Umasho Grounds, Logogo, inside the exhibition space, and we are next to Pride Microfinance. We work from Monday to Friday. We are open to all people who have business ideas and all those that are in business and need to be able to transition. You can be able to have to see our website. Our website is www.usia.or.ug. All our social media platforms and handles are Yuzia Association. Yes.
And that was all we had for the show. Thank you so much for joining us on this segment. Keep it locked on Success Theory. I remain your host, Dorothy Kamarunga. Subscribe on our YouTube channel, comment, like, share. Until next time.